Ever wondered what command injection is and how it can affect your system? It's a fascinating world, but also a dangerous one. Command injection is a type of cyber attack where an attacker tries to run arbitrary commands on your operating system through a vulnerable application. It's like letting a stranger have the keys to your house and all your secret rooms. This is no fairy tale, it's real and it's happening. Understanding command injection is the first step towards better cybersecurity. So, what exactly is command injection? Command injection, also known as OS command injection, is a form of attack where an attacker tricks the system into executing unauthorized operating system commands. It's a technique that targets the vulnerabilities of an application's data input or output, exploiting the trust placed in user input. Imagine a world where every command you issue to your computer is a piece of advice you're giving it. You're the trusted advisor, and your computer takes your advice at face value. Now, what if a mischievous third party could sneak in their advice, disguised as yours, and your computer followed it? That's essentially what happens in a command injection attack. The risks are high, as the commands being executed are done so with the same privileges as the application running them. This could mean access to sensitive data, modification of that data, or even complete system takeover. To put it simply, it's like handing over the keys to your digital kingdom. Let's look at a real-life example for clarity. Suppose there's an application that allows you to ping another server to check if it's online. To do this, it takes your input and forms a command like ping your input. An attacker could manipulate this by inputting something like your server, RMRF per inch, which would first ping your server and then delete all files in the root directory. This demonstrates how an innocent feature can be twisted into a destructive tool. But it's not just server pinging applications that are vulnerable. Any application that uses input to form OS commands is at risk. This includes web applications, databases, mobile apps, and even IoT devices. It's important to note that command injection isn't a flaw in the operating system itself, but rather in how the application handles user input. This means that it's not something that can be patched out with an OS update, but rather it must be prevented through careful and secure coding practices. Now that we know what command injection is, it's time to learn how we can protect our systems from it. The question now is, how can we prevent command injection attacks? First off, let's talk about input validation. This is a fundamental technique that involves checking the data provided by a user to ensure it's safe before it's processed. To do this effectively, we need to adopt a whitelist approach, where we only allow specific, known safe inputs. For instance, if a field is supposed to receive a date, then anything that isn't in the correct date format should be rejected. This way, we can block unexpected and potentially malicious inputs. Next, we have the principle of least privilege. This is a security concept that requires limiting the permissions for users to the bare minimum they need to perform their tasks. It's like giving someone only the keys they need to access the rooms they're supposed to be in, rather than a master key to the entire building. So, if a user or an application doesn't need to execute certain commands, they should not have the privileges to do so. This can significantly limit the damage a command injection attack can cause. Last, but certainly not least, is the use of secure APIs. APIs, or application programming interfaces, are sets of rules that allow different software applications to communicate with each other. Some APIs are designed with security in mind, and these are the ones we want to use. Secure APIs do not allow any form of command injection, ensuring that even if an attacker manages to inject a malicious command, the API simply won't execute it. These are just a few of the many mitigation strategies you can implement. The key thing to remember is that security is not a one-and-done deal. It's an ongoing process that requires continuous monitoring, updating, and tweaking. It's about staying one step ahead of those who might wish to compromise your systems and data. By implementing these measures, you can significantly reduce the risk of command injection attacks. To wrap up our discussion on command injection, we've explored its nature, the potential risks it poses, and the various strategies to mitigate such threats. This topic is a crucial part of the larger cybersecurity landscape. The importance of understanding and mitigating command injection cannot be overstated. We encourage you to continue broadening your knowledge in cybersecurity and to remain vigilant in defending your systems. Remember, understanding the threat is the first step in defending against it. Stay safe out there.